Okay, so this stream highlight wizard or video that's haphazardly made is just going to be a quick overview of all of the any percent routes that I currently do in Portal 2 any percent speedruns. There are more routes than this that you could do. However, I'm not currently aware of many more that would be easy to implement in a run, because obviously map skip is not very consistent. Also, just a disclaimer. If you're like a beginner or just getting into speedrunning Portal 2, do not run this category. It's basically an extension of the main category that also requires a lot of precise stuff, and it's can be a little bit tedious. Basically, just run the main category, which I already have a tutorial for on my YouTube channel. And then once you've gotten good at that, if you still want to look at any percent, then you can watch this tutorial and run at that if you'd like. Also, another disclaimer. This tutorial already assumes that you've either watched my full game tutorial or just simply already know how to run full game. I will not be going over any routes that are already done in normal full game. I will only be going over the routes that are different in any percent and how to perform those tricks. That being said, let's get started. There are a few binds that you're going to need for any percent that are kind of specific to any percent and that you don't need in regular full game. The first one that you'll need is a just a save load bind. You technically don't need this, but it really helps. I have one key, in this case R, bound to save glitch and then load glitch. Again, glitch here could be replaced with anything. And technically you can even use quick saves for this, but I like to name the save a different thing so that I can use my quick saves in addition to this and I can load both at the same time. For example, I can make a quick save over here and then I can save load over here. And the save load just puts me right back where I am, but I can still load my quick save and end up right back here. So that's one of the reasons why I use a different save name for my save loads. In addition to the save load bind, you are going to want an F key bound to simply save, and then another key that preferably not an F key that is bound to load that same save. In this case, I have used the glitch save name again because it's more convenient. This will be for void clipping. There are currently 3 void clips in the run, and this is how you do void clipping. You have to have an F key bound to save and then a save name. I have F5, and you have to have a key that is not an F key bound to load that save. I'll explain why when we get there, but just know those are some binds that you need. Also, this is sort of an optional one, but I have 2 keys bound to specifically make saves for wrong warp, because how getting wrong warp works is that you have to make a save in a map and then exit out into the main menu, go to challenge mode, and then load that save. And while it's certainly possible to do this with quick saves, your quick save button might not be in a convenient location to do that. So for me, keypad insert, which is just 0 on the keypad, is a really convenient place for me because it makes my hand position convenient for doing the menuing. So that's optional. You can have keys bound to those. Obviously, because the category is save load abuse, I guess it's intuitive. Most of the binds you need involve save loads. And probably one last thing that I'll cover before I get into how to do wrong warp here is that you are really going to want to use the version of SAR that has SAR prevent peti materials loading. That command was just released like a few days ago. Route credit to Kurziow for finding that. Fixes a memory leak that makes the loads get longer the longer the game stays on. So you're really going to want that command if you run any percent, because it's going to cut your load times down by minutes. Okay, now that I think I've gotten all of that stuff out of the way, let's get into how to do wrong warp. So I'll just start off in saying the first 2 maps in any percent are exactly like in full game, no differences in Incinerator, Portal Carousel. But Portal Gun is the first map in the game that is native to challenge mode. And that means it's the first map in the game that has challenge mode flags, which also means it's the first map in the game that you can perform wrong warp on. And if you don't know what wrong warp is, it is essentially loading the challenge mode flags in a single player run, and then the game gets confused when that happens, and it allows you to exit the level from an incorrect location, and therefore that spawns you in the next level at an incorrect location. It also allows you to exit the level a whole heck of a lot earlier, which is what we'll be using it for mostly for this run. So the act of getting wrong warp requires you to make a save in a level, and in this case I'm using my special bind that I have to make a save specifically for wrong warps. I make that save, exit out, hit single player, challenge mode, and then just double click that or hit play selected map and hit enter. And then as soon as I load that, I hit the button that loads the save back in single player. So now I'm here, but you'll notice if I go out of bounds, there's challenge mode flags. And when you hit those, the level transitions, which is really useful because it means you don't have to wait for the elevator. So, I don't know if you noticed though, but it was kind of slow when I did that. Luckily, there's a really quick and easy way to get map skip that only takes about 2 to 3 seconds if you do it right. All the menuing. So, the menuing key combination for this, it comes in 2 halves. The first half is making a save and then exiting the main menu. And something to note, if you make a save and hit escape immediately after, that pops up, the game saved, which doesn't go away for like a second, which is really annoying. You have to wait a small fraction of a second after making the save to hit escape. I don't know if you can hear my keyboard, but this is doing it too early. And this is a good speed. So, what you're going to do is make a save, wait that fraction of a second, and then hit escape, up arrow, and then enter twice. And that's going to put you at the main menu. I think I loaded the wrong save, but yeah, so that motion, just save, escape, up arrow twice menu, will get you to the main menu. And then once you're here, the key combination is enter, up arrow twice, enter twice. But you'll notice if you hit enter, there's this really long animation that plays when you select something. Now that's really annoying and also really slow, but luckily if you go fast enough, the animation straight up does not play. Now it's kind of impossible to do this in slow motion, like there's no commands that allow you to do it, but just going fast enough, the key combination again is up arrow twice, or no, enter, up arrow twice, and then enter twice. So, see, if you do it fast enough, there are no animations. And then once you're loading into the CM screen, as soon as you enter challenge mode, you hit the save that you made to load the save that you made when you were in the normal. And then now you have wrong warp, and you can just continue the level like normal. Oh, apparently host timescale 0.5 works for menu. I mean, I don't really need to slow it down. It's just, I'll explain the key presses, and then you can do them. So, one last time running it down. You hit the key that makes the save, and then hit escape, up arrow twice, escape, up arrow, enter twice. And once you're in the menu, you hit enter, up arrow twice, enter twice. And once you're in challenge mode, you load the save back. And you want to do that at the start of this chamber, if you can remember to do it, because doing it anywhere else, you might have to awkwardly pause a little bit. And then you just do this chamber like normal. Just one quick thing to note, though, is that normally in Portal Gun, you wait to get a dialogue skip. Because of how the wrong warp works, you don't actually need the dialogue skip, so you can just go as fast as you can, and you don't have to pay attention to Wheatley. I actually have him muted right now. And then you'll get here. And as soon as you touch these flags, the game will start fading out, and you'll end the level. This is also, you'll want another bind. You probably already have this bind. But you want a button that says restart level. It's important that it's not a stop and restart level bind. You might have that bind for CM. It just is restart level. It should not stop your demos. Because you need to record demos for any percent, at least currently. So you want a bind that just says restart level, because when you go into those flags, you'll be out of bounds. And there's not really any way to get back in bounds, at least not specifically right here. And this strategy that I'm talking about applies to most of the levels. So as soon as you load in, you want to hit your restart level button, so you can end up back here. And now once you're back on the level, you just repeat what you did at the start of the last level, which is make a save, exit to the main menu, and then once you're in the main menu, go to challenge mode and load back in. And yes, somebody in the chat mentioned you do have to time pauses for this category. That is done with the command SAR speedrun time pauses 1. I believe that is the default setting, but make sure that your timing pauses. So, because you started this level by restarting level, restart level removes your wrong warp, so you have to go get it again. So make a save, exit to the main menu, and then load back into challenge mode, and then load back the save that you made. So, save, escape, up arrow, enter, enter. And then enter, up arrow twice, enter twice. And then load, as soon as you load into challenge mode, load that save. And you're in the next map. And you're going to repeat this process. Well, you're going to repeat it a lot through the run, but you're going to repeat the process all the way through Future Starter. So let me just show you real quick. There's the flags there. So you just go into them. As soon as you load into this map, restart level. And then get wrong warp again. I'm not going to show you these next two maps, but when you restart, and you're also you're going to want to get wrong warp again in secret panel. So it's just essentially the same thing, probably like 4 times in a row. And now you're in secret panel. This is the first real any percent route. The rest is just using those flags. This is one of the largest skips in any percent. So, and it can be a bit fiddly. So here's one of the real major routes. You're going to want to enter the chamber, and instead of like having a portal here, just bunny hop over to this wall. Put a portal really anywhere here, just around here. I guess, yeah, it doesn't really matter where. I usually have it touching the floor. And then slightly enter the portal, like maybe halfway, just right about here. Again, not too precise. And see this, in between these two walls, there's a corner in the wall. If you're here, maybe, whoops. That's a cheat command. It's not working. Whatever. Basically, you can shoot through this seam. And it looks like that when you do it. And you'll see there's a portal was placed on an out-of-bounds surface. Something else I should note. You are definitely going to want the command r_portal_use_pvs_optimization 0. Set that to 0. It's 1 by default. Set it to 0. And that will allow you to see out of bounds. Because if you don't set that command, out of bounds is just a white void. So again, for the shot, put a portal there. Walk into it slightly. And also you're going to want to use your sensitivity bind for this that you had set up for a regular full game. So press the sensitivity bind. And see, you should be able to see a black line. The shot is a little bit to the right of the black line. I think the shot is a little bit more to the right than you would intuitively think. So shoot where you want to see where the shot is. And what I do is I just keep spamming shot while gradually moving my mouse to the right until I get it. when you're shooting, your camera shakes all like that, but the actual places that your portals shoot don't. They stay 100% still. So just aim and then shoot. Move gradually to the right. I think I may have started too far to the right. Like, it's a precise shot, so it might take some time to get. But once you hit that shot, if you can, bunny hop over to this portal and walk through. You should end up on this surface. Again, you'll need the command R portal use PVS optimization, set that to 0 in order to see out here. But this is the first kind of weird any percent magic that happens. When I come through here, I put my portal up there so that the portal doesn't interfere with what I'm about to do. I don't actually know if that's necessary, but I do it anyway. So if it doesn't work, try putting your portal up there. Now, also something to note that this trick requires demos. You have to be recording demos in order for this to reliably work. The reasons behind it are a little bit complicated, but since you have to be recording demos anyway, just know that if you're practicing this, you should be recording demos. Okay, so crouch here on like this side of the wall and make sure you're like more on this side of the chamber than you're on that side of the chamber. So more towards the beginning. And the first number in your position, it's going to hover around 2300 something. Get that to 2305. That is the position you want to be in. Your exact position along here doesn't matter too much. Again, just make sure you're more in the back half than there. So get the first number in your position to 2305. And now we're going to do some void clip pauses, which are funny story. It's not you don't have to void clip pause to actually void clip, but void clip pauses are a technique that will be pretty useful in any percent. And basically what a void clip pause does is let you pause the game in such a way that it like loads slightly differently. Well, let me show you what it looks like first so I can remember how to do it. So that's the first step to avoid clip pause, is hitting the tilde button, which is the developer console key. You hit that twice at specific times in the load, and you end up here. You'll notice the name on CL show pause is blank. That means the game isn't really loaded in yet. And then the next step in the void clip pause is hitting escape and then tilde again. In sort of a specific timing, how much you vary the timing on when you hit these two keys changes exactly how you load in. But for this specific thing, you want there to be about a quarter second between when you hit escape and then when you hit tilde again. It's not exact, but I just do da. I just know what a quarter second is because I'm a band geek. But again, it's not that precise, just da. Escape and then tilde. And then once you get here, you're going to want to press tilde, wait like a quarter, half second, and then repeat the process. And that's what it looks like once you do it successful. Then after you wait a second, shoot a portal there to get on top of here, the game will start fading out, and that means you've done it successfully. So now let me actually explain the timing for a void clip pause, because you're probably wondering how to do that. So you'll notice when you load a save, there's a few animations, or there's a few like pictures that show up of the aperture logo. So basically, right there, the first image that shows up that's different, which is there, shortly after that image shows up, you want to press tilde. Heck, where is it? Man, I keep doing it, but I can't do it and explain it at the same time. So, the first time the image changes, you want to press tilde shortly after that. And then, when the screen goes black, you want to press tilde shortly after that. So, save load and then do the void clip pause by pressing tilde, not immediately, but after you see the first image change, and then after the screen goes black. There. The timing is a bit weird, and you might have to fiddle around with it to really get it intuitive. It's hard to explain exactly. But hopefully you can look at my no board in the bottom right and then see it. So once you get it successfully, once you press the second tilde, you'll be here on the black screen, and you can stay here forever. The game's paused like mid-load, in a sense. And then here, then you just do the thing where you press escape, and then a quarter second later press tilde. And you'll be here, press escape, and then you save load again after waiting a little bit. And then so you do that twice. And then after the second time, you press tilde, look to the left, and just place a portal on that wall and walk backwards on top of the room. And if you did it right, the game will start fading out. Also, just one other really weird thing. I noticed that if you're not connected to Steam, this trick does not work. There's a good theory for why that happens. Again, it's too complicated to explain. But if the servers are undergoing Steam maintenance, if it's a Tuesday, the trick might not work. Just keep that in mind. It's a small thing, but any percent is weird stuff. And again, this is one of the harder tricks in any percent, so don't be too alarmed if you don't get it first try or if it's hard for you. If you try it for like a long time and it's not working, you can ask in the Portal 2 Speedrun Discord server. But again, I would not recommend doing this category if you're a beginner just looking to speedrun. And there's only a few people who know enough about this category to help you. So just keep that in mind when asking for help. So I'll just go over this whole map real quick. Once you load in, again, you want to do the menuing sequence to get wrong warp. And this menuing sequence, you're going to do it a ton of times in the run. It's going to be very familiar to you. That's why I can do it so fast. So you load in here, bunny hop over to here, shoot a portal there. Shoot this portal at the corner in the wall until you shoot through it and it lands in out of bounds space. I shoot that portal up there. I'm not really sure if you have to. Get the first number in your position to 2305. Just remember the 5. That's all you need to. And then save load and void clip pause. And then quarter of a second between escape and the tilde. And then repeat that. And the portal will let you get back up on here. And it should transition the level. Which means you'll be spawning out here. Now this is the second step to wake up skip. We're going to have to void clip from here over to that box. And we're holding Wheatley, but it doesn't change anything. And something to note about void clipping is that it is much more effective when you're recording demos. It still works when you're not recording demos, but if you're practicing this, again, you're going to be wanting to record demos. And void clipping is where our F key, we bound that to save, and then we bound a separate key to load. That's when that's going to come in real handy. So also another thing that I should note for this, when you like make a save and then load that save, the style of loading screen depends on how you entered the play session. Right now when I load that save, I get the Aperture Laboratories and the animations, but there's a chance you might be getting just a black screen when you load a save. And the way to fix that is, first off, if you go to the menu to get wrong warp, you should automatically get this style of loading screen. But if you're at the menu and you just type like map SPA1 intro 7 or load a save straight from the main menu, you'll be getting the black loading screen. And if you have that, you can fix that by just going to the main menu, hitting play single player, and then continue game. And then you'll get the animated style of loading screens. Because you'll want those style of loading screens to do these void clips and also the other things, because it makes it easier to time. When you're on a run, because you'll be doing wrong warp in the run, you're guaranteed to have the correct type of loading screens, but just keep it in mind when practicing. Okay, so void clip is essentially spamming two different buttons at the time, or at two different points in the loading screen. So you initiate a void clip more often than not by just doing a save load. So let's just void clip up, for example, which means you jump, and then while you still have upward velocity, let's do a save load. Right, so now I have a save that I can, when I load it, I'm moving up. and I'm pressing tab, which is loading my save. And if I have F5, that button will make a save. So if I load that save, what you want to do for void clip is spam F5 until there are 2 dots left in the loading screen. And what I do for the timing is once there's 2 dots left in the loading screen, I hit F5 once more, and then I start spamming the load button. And I know F5 isn't on my no board, but hopefully you can hear it. It sounds a little bit like this. And basically, if you just repeat that a bunch, so as soon as there's 2 dots in my loading screen, I press F5 once more, and then I start pressing tab, because tab is loading the save that I'm making in the loading screen. And the reason it has to be a function key is because the F keys are the only keys that work in the loading screens. And then now you'll notice after a few void clips, I am very high up. So that's not the route, that's just telling you how to do a void clip. The route is that you do a circle jump here, and then you jump off of here towards that box. And immediately after the jump, you want to do a save load. And start void clipping. You want your velocity after the second jump to be heading towards the box, because the void clips just keep carrying you in the direction that you're moving. And you can't alter... Oh, whoops, that might be... That's fine. So just keep doing the void clips until you're close enough to the box that you can land on it. And if you want to check if you are, you can just not load one, and then you can press the load button again. And it'll like... You can keep doing the void clips still. Okay, I think this should be good. Alright, so I can land on the box now. That was a really scuffed void clip because I messed up. Ideally, it should look like this. So after the jump, you start void clipping. Again, pressing F5 until there are 2 dots left in the loading screen. And then once that's happened, start pressing the button to load the save that you're making. I don't know an exact number for how many void clips this should take. Probably in the ballpark of like 15 to 20. But basically, once the box is on the lower side of your screen or is like going off of your screen, that probably means that you can stop void clipping and then you can land on the box. Like that. So once you've landed on this box, you want to direct your attention to the second number in your position. You see the one that's changing when I'm here. You want that number to be 159. Anywhere, it can be a low 59, a high of 159. It doesn't really matter. Get on this side of the box, on the other side of the smaller box. Have that number be 159. And then save load twice. There's a chance that you'll have to save load 3 times. But save loading twice, you should activate the trigger, and then you can go into Wake Up. Or this is Incinerator. You can go into Incinerator. A route credit to Kurzia for finding out that consistent way to activate the trigger in the boxes. Somebody in the chat asks if PC performance affects speedruns. In any percent, it actually, if you have really bad loading times, I would imagine it might actually have the potential to change slightly some of these timings that I'm talking about. So feel free to like experiment with the timings a little bit, do them like slower or faster on some of the loading screen stuff. Just see what works for you and then find it, get it consistent. Any percent as a category has a lot of potential to be affected by loading times specifically. Yeah, I mean, I guess always you should have an SSD just because it makes your computing experience a lot better. But if you have an SSD and a decent processor, it shouldn't be much different from what I'm experiencing. So, Incinerator. There's also another route here. You just begin as normal. Jump over here and then skip this trigger by doing this. But once here, you can pick up the portal gun as fast as possible here. Shoot a portal there. Again, doesn't really matter. and go over here and find yourself in this corner. What I like to do is line up roughly with this little darker spot on the ground, just about there, and then I look about at the middle part of this weird brown thing on the wall, and then I move my mouse laterally to the seam. And if you aim right in the middle of the seam, you'll be able to place a portal out of bounds. I mean, you're probably not going to nail the shot first try. It is a seam shot, so it's a little bit precise, but just fiddle around with it. It's a pretty wide shot. You should be able to get it fairly quickly. And if it's not working for you, experiment with like shooting a bit higher or lower. And then once you hit that shot, walk through the orange portal, and assuming you still have wrong warp, you will basically immediately... Okay, I guess I don't have wrong warp for some reason, so if that happens, I messed that up. But if that happens, you can just get wrong warp again. But there should be flags there. So it'll look like that. As soon as you go through that portal, you should touch the flags, and then it'll load the next level. But that looks like that. And again, you'll be out of bounds. So press restart level. Get wrong warp again. And now you're in laser intro. Something to note about this map, because it's not native to CM, there's no flags at the end. So you will not have to get wrong warp again in the next level. Because you end this level normally and you don't restart level, the wrong warp stays from one level to the next level. So you do not have to get restart level at the beginning of laser stairs. But at the end of laser stairs, there are CM flags, which means for the next level, you will have to press restart level. Which means that you will need to get wrong warp again for this one. Basically, if the level ends... Well, if you start a map by having to press restart level, then you have to get wrong warp again in that map. Okay, so this map, Dual Lasers, this is the first real wrong warp route. So for Dual Lasers, fun fact, you can actually do like the CM version of this route, which is slightly faster. That's what that looks like. Or you can just do, you know, the regular full game route. It doesn't super matter a lot what route you do. But basically, once you get here, there's a cool thing you can do. If you touch these flags, and then as the fade out's going, do a circle jump towards this door, and just jump immediately before the fade out, you'll land on this pipe in the next level. And after a few bunny hops, get to this section, crouch, and then press your save load button a few times. Usually it takes 2 to 4 save loads. But once you load in, you'll hit those flags, and then you can restart level in the next map, and suddenly you're in Catapult Intro. Basically just skip laser over goo. That's the first wrong warp route. And Catapult Intro, again, like laser intro, there's no CM flags, which means you end the level like normal. And on the next level, you won't have to do the wrong warp. But because there's no CM flags, you actually will still want to hit the camera on the button, because this is one of the few levels in any percent where dialogue still matters. So let me find out what comes after Catapult Intro real quick. All right, Trust Fling, again, is unchanged. It's exactly like full game, except you do the wrong warp thing at the beginning, and then you touch the flags. Pit Flings is, again, exactly the same. Fizzler Intro is the same. Ceiling Catapult's the same. Ricochet is the same. Bridge Intro is the same. Bridge the Gap is the first map where there's a different route. So Bridge the Gap here. Get wrong warp. And just do the map like normal again until the end. Let me do this real quick. Alright. Now here are those flags. This is a bit of a more advanced route. Not even necessarily advanced, but it requires a circle jump, and you need a good bit of distance, otherwise you're not going to make the jump that I'm talking about here. But you're going to want to walk into these flags, and then circle jump to the left. Make sure you don't hit the wall before the level transitions, because you're going to want speed going this way, going into the next map. And I can actually turn on time scale for this. It's going to look a little like this. Just kidding. That's what happens when you hit the wall. You do not want to hit the wall. And then, so right here, you're going to want to do a shot there, or there, but you're going to want to do it in midair. And because I paused out of bounds, I lost all my velocity. But what it should look like is this. Again, I may have bonked there. I'm not sure. I can't circle jump in half speed. It looks like this. And then you land on this observation room. Again, that's a bit of a harder jump, so if you can't do that, just do this map normally, no stress. But then go through that portal, bunny hop out of bounds over here, and then right here, just do 2 save loads to enter back in here, and walk forward about here. And you're done. This map also has another wrong warp in it. And because there's a wrong warp again, you can shoot these portals in the CM method. Instead of doing the full game route, shoot them there. And, whoa, thank you for the host. Horrible timing. I'm doing an any percent tutorial, not exactly doing any speedruns, but so once you've shot those portals there, shoot the blue portal there, you'll open that door, and you're going to want to crouch past these. You can actually crouch under the flags. Crouch past them, end up here, and you're going to want to do a jump, land there. Basically, you're going to want to jump into this wall, but try not to hit it before the level fades out. It should look like that. I messed up because I didn't jump before the level fades out, but should look like that. And then you'll land here and grab these turrets. You shouldn't actually have to kill this turret right here. Just grab the cube, put it on the button, and go. Again, that jump into the flags that I was doing, it's a little hard. So if you can't do this, again, no stress, just do turret blocker the normal way. But it is one of the cooler wrong warp routes. And you'll just end up there. And then restart level again, get wrong warp again. Just like normal. Okay, so that covers turret blocker. Laser versus turret, there's nothing special. Pull the rug. Column blocker, there is sort of a route. Basically, you can either do column blocker the normal way, or you can do it... Oh, heck. It's all dark. Okay. You can do it the normal way, or you can go over here, shoot a portal in this corner, get in the corner, save load. Wait, okay, that portal has to be there for some reason. But get in this portal, save load, either once or twice, and then strafe in this direction, and you should land on this floor, roughly. And then a bunny hop over here, crouch, and then save load a few times to load in. Oh, okay, so that's the route. I actually missed a route. There is a route in laser versus turret. I've been duped. Sorry for missing that, but yeah, laser versus turret. The route is you're going to want to just do the whole map as normal again. nothing really you can do to speed this up. But once you hit the flags, there's going to be a void clip in the next map that we're going to do. And because this void clip is starting from a level load, you're not going to initiate it by doing a save load. You're just going to initiate it from the level load. And basically, after you hit these flags, you want to circle jump roughly 45 degrees that way, so that you jump just before the level loads, like this. And basically, you just start void clipping from there. As soon as the loading screen hits 2 dots, or you want to spam your load key, that's a function key, as the loading screen is filling up, and then once it hits 2 dots, hit that one more, and just start void clipping. This is a pretty small void clip. You should only need in the ballpark of like 8 void clips to make this. Depending on where your circle jump went, you might have to do some strafing in order to get there. Let's see if this works. Yeah, but you should end up on this box. And then you want to get to this box on the other side of this, that box, so this side. Get the second number in your position. Get it so that it's 2289. 9 is the only really number you have to remember. And just load twice. Or save load twice. Hit your save load button twice. And that will load you into column blocker. Which is, again, you can either do the normal route or the regular route. Someone in chat asks a very good question. Is it bad if you stop spamming F5 too late? It definitely can be bad. Yeah, you don't want to be hitting F5 after you've actually loaded in. Because that can be pretty bad. Let me demonstrate kind of what that can do. So basically, once you're here, if I want to void clip upwards, right now I'm moving upwards. It's very hard to tell because of the void clipping, but basically right now I'm moving upwards. If I start spamming F5 too late, I'll make a save being affected by gravity, and that means that I might start moving downwards, which means that the whole void clip was just pointless. So yeah, you don't want to press F5 unless you're basically in the loading screen. Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you for asking. So now, I already went over column blocker. So for laser chaining, there's no special route. Triple laser, there's no special route. Jailbreak, there's no special route. Something to note, though, at the end of jailbreak, because of where the flag is placed, you don't actually hit the flag. You just end the level like normal. And so you won't have to get void clip again in escape. But once we load into escape, there is... I'm getting void clip here just for... because I have to for demonstration purposes. But normally, you would get void clip in jailbreak and then keep that into escape. So there is a route at the end of escape. You want to do escape like normal. Hang on for a moment while I absolutely game. So once you reach here, optionally I kind of like to turn on Fulbright here, but you want to hit these flags, look up this way, and then jump to the right. Oh, is that going to kill me? No, okay. Oh, frick. Obviously you're going to be doing this very fast, so that's not going to be an issue. But go to the flags, look up, and then jump forward and to the right, like that. And once you load in here, shoot a portal up there, and shoot a portal down there at that wall that you can just hold W and walk into. Obviously you have to get that, otherwise you'll fall endlessly into the void. So shoot a portal up there. Doesn't really matter where. Just make sure that you can like land in a portal, and then get yourself on top of here. And now this is a big invisible wall that goes up a really high distance for some reason. So just keep shooting a portal up here until your shots stop landing. So that means your portal is at the top of that wall. And then shoot a portal there and stand on the edge of this portal. And what you're going to want to do here is jump, shoot the orange portal away, and then immediately save load. And you're going to save load this into a small void clip. Like that. And this void clip is really small. You should only need to do really 4 clips, 4 to 5. But once you start that void clip, you can just start tapping A as soon as you load in, and you should land on top of this wall, something. So then you can speed wall strafe here. Something to note, if you crouch for too long and out of bounds, you could get stuck crouched. So crouch carefully while you're out of bounds. Speed wall strafe here, up until about here. And this is a bit of weird geometry, but you're going to want to like jump around that corner into here. And you're going to want to do a 2-hop speed wall strafe. There. Oh, and also Kersey Howe mentioned that the portal can't be close to you when doing void clip. Yeah, you have to shoot the portal away when you do the void clip. That's a very important step. I'll go over that again once I'm finished with this. But so you want to be here. Yeah, the reason you have to jump around there is because that can happen. So jump around here so you're on this side. And then do a jump, kind of wall strafe. Jump off the edge of this thing. And strafe towards here. You'll have to hit escape maybe 1 or 2 times on the way down. Because what hitting escape does while you're out of bounds is it resets all of your velocity. So it resets your falling velocity so you can kind of get a fresh start on the strafes. Because without that, you'd never make that strafe. And then once you're down here, crouch here, save load 2 or 3 times. And place your blue portal there. Walk through these flags and AD spam so you can make your way through the blue portal and then jump. And strafe to the left, you'll end up here. Just jump along all this oob stuff. Crouch about here. Save load 2 to 4 times, I think should do it. Yeah. And then something to note here, don't walk into the flags before the door opens. You want to jump into the flags so that the level transition happens when you're in the room, like this. And then Neurotoxin Sabotage is 100% normal. So, let's see, do I have a save? No. That's the wrong one. So I'll just go over that again once more. So you're going this way. And then jump in to the right so that you can shoot this portal while falling. And then shoot that portal under you and land on top of here. Shoot this portal up high just until it stops shooting, so that's at the very top of the wall. Jump, shoot the portal, and then start void clipping. Look like about here, because this will shoot that portal over there. So jump, shoot the portal, and start void clipping. You should need about 4, maybe a bit more, if you have unideal void clips, but about 4 void clips should do it, and then just start tapping A, and you should be able to land on top of this wall. Then jump all the way over here, and you're just going to want to jump down to the bottom. And you will have to pause 1 or 2 times while jumping down to reset your velocity. If you're good, you can do it in 1. Oh, that's actually bad, but... What is this? That's a weird save that I made. Yeah, if you're good, you can do it in 1 save load. Those requires really good strafe, so you'll probably need 2 or 3. And then save load down here. And go through that portal. and just save load into there. Again, 2 to 4 save loads for this one. And make sure the door is open and you can bunny hop through it before you hit those flags, because otherwise you'll be soft lock. Alright, and this map is totally normal. Nothing different about Neurotoxin Sabotage, or Tube Ride, perhaps unsurprisingly. Core, though, there is a route in Core that can skip part of the cutscene. You won't need wrong warp for the route, but I'll get it anyway. This is another one of those glitches that, for some godforsaken reason, does not work if Portal 2 is not connected to Steam. So obviously, Core for the beginning, just get here like normal. Wait for all the cutscene to play out. There's GLaDOS talking. We can ignore her. Let's just speed this up real quick. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow, you're gonna kill me. Wow, he's... Ooh, turrets. Ooh, big bad. Oh, what's next? A neurotoxin tube. Oh, you're joking. Oh my god, it's Wesley. Let's go. Let's plug him in. Okay, so... once you're here, just hit the stalemate button like normal. But instead of going up here, you're going to want to come down here and line up roughly about here. The specific lineup, I honestly don't exactly know. Basically just around here. You'll see there's a line here that intersects with this big circle thing. You can line up with that. And then maybe a little bit down, a little bit to the right. And that's the lineup that you're going to want to do for Core Clip. And what Core Clip is basically just a few save loads at a very precise time that will let the GLaDOS core clip you into the ground. But also, once you're lined up, you have to actually look at GLaDOS to let this cutscene. Basically, you have to look at her for her to transition into the second level of screaming. So make sure you still look at her. But the timing for the save load is basically, there's a time when all the lights turn on, and you want to hit your save load button about 0.4 seconds after all those lights go on. If you see the shadow of the GLaDOS head in the bottom right corner of your screen, that means you've done it too late. So I'll just demonstrate what that is.
No, stop, no, no.
And then once she says no, you can look away. You'd want to make a save right about here so you can retry it. About a 0.4 seconds after the lights turn on. And also you want to do a void clip pause here. And if you did it right, you should be stuck on the ground. This trick is pretty hard to do right because it depends on where you are and also when you do the save. So you're probably going to have to try this a few times before you get it. But once you're on the ground, you want to do the same save load again, and then also do a void clip pause again. And if everything's good, you should be here in all this out of bounds land. So now you can just do save loads until you get unstuck. It should only take 3. Depending on exactly where you're standing, it could take more than 3. And yeah, something to note about the void clip pause is that you only do the 2 pauses and then you unpause. You don't have to do the thing where you hit escape and then tilde. I don't know what causes the variance and how many saves or save loads you need to do. Okay, because I saw the shadow of the GLaDOS corner in the bottom right of my screen, I think I loaded too late. Oh no, I still got it somehow. Okay, so I'm here. And this void clip pause again, you only have to do that pause, end up here, and then just pause. Unpause. You don't have to do any of the pausing, unpausing, and then pausing again. You should end up here. And then you'll just keep save loading until eventually you get released. I think how quickly you get released depends on exactly where you stand, so you can experiment with that for yourself. I think standing lower makes it better. Let's see if that works. And also something to note, if you do the clip and it fails, and it fails if you get like pushed out by the GLaDOS cube and you're just standing there, you can try reloading the save that you made, because there's a chance it'll work the second time.
We did it.
No, you are not allowed to use macros.
We did it.
Yeah, again, I don't know what causes the fact how many save loads you have to do here, but
Would you look at this? Not too
like I
bad,
could not tell you, but some people are able to just 3 save loads and then they're done. But just keep save loading until. Oh, Crazy House suggests I try again a little bit more to the left. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, that's not going to work. So this is an example of what it looks like when it doesn't work. You'll get pushed out like that, and you'll be there. You can try loading again to get it to work, but if you did it too late, it's not going to work again, even if you retry. So let's try Crazy House suggestion of moving more to the left. And 2 void clip pauses. And just save loading.
We did it.
You might have to do a lot of save loads here. It's annoying, but eventually you'll get unstuck and you can just fall down to the ground. It's really stupid stuff. Again, how many save loads you have to do, I think, depends on where you're standing when you do the clip. So,
Would you look at this?
not exactly sure.
Right, yeah, the escape.
Oh, wait, check your X position. If it doesn't change, something is wrong. So my X position is 8262 now.
Oh, right, yeah,
It's not changing.
right, yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's slowly changing. What happens if I do a void clip pause? Nothing. This trick is really dumb. This is like the one trick that I don't really quite fully understand. But I think where you stand here affects what happens there. So let's try this. Yeah, this is kind of the nature of any percent, though. There's always something that just isn't entirely understood. Unfortunately, this trick does save like 50 seconds, so it's kind of important to do. And yeah, I don't know. Could not tell you why this isn't working, but like, you'll end up here roughly, and then you'll be able to fall or something. Wait. Oh, that one. This might be too late, and I won't get clipped. Oh no, never mind, it worked. Oh, whoops, I was supposed to avoid clip pause. Looks like it may have worked anyway. Honestly, just look at this on your own, experiment on your own. Again, not for beginners, this stuff. It's all, this is one of the sillier parts of any percent. So, once you escape that hell and then enter, eventually you'll just like start falling down something somewhere. I think it's like here. Yeah, you like fall down here. Oh wait, that makes more sense.
peti now. Whoa! Would you look at this? Not too bad, eh? Giant robot, massive. It's not just me, right? I am bloody massive, aren't I? Oh, right, yeah, the escape lift. I'll call it now.
Hello.
There we go.
Yeah, just experiment with this on your own. I cannot be bothered to figure out what is going on. So, Longfall is the same, Underground's the same, Cave Johnson. Although, small note in Underground, make sure you touch the flags and then enter the room before the level fades out, otherwise you'll soft lock. And then in Cave Johnson, it's the same, but there's flags early, so entering Repulsion Intro, you'll have to restart and then get wrong warp again. So let's go to Repulsion Intro because there's a slight route difference here. Yeah, for Underground, you want to open the door first and then AD spam through the flags. So here's Underground. It's mostly the same route as in before. This route, actually, that I'm going to show isn't in the full game tutorial because it's pretty new. But just get up here and then do this seam shot. There's tutorials for it elsewhere, but just do that and then shoot that there. Save load here. I find that doing a void clip pause usually helps. You might have to do 1 or 2 saves, but you'll end up down here. And then just do the rest of the chamber like normal. That's called Cubeless Cube Clip. And it's the fastest way to do it in any %. And continue like normal. Yeah, and you hit those flags, and then you have to restart level and get wrong warp again. And then for bomb flings into Crazy Box, there's actually another wrong warp that I'll show you. This wrong warp just straight up skips Crazy Box, so it's a good wrong warp in my book, but just do bomb flings like normal, however you do it. And then once you're here, you want to enter these flags, and then right before the level transitions, jump slightly to the left. And you'll end up here. And then just jump over here. There's weird invisible geometry here. Make your way like past that, just so you end up here. And then save load 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a consistent 5, so 5. Then strafe to the right because there's another piece of invisible geometry that you'll hit. And then go there into the flags. And then you'll end up there. You'd get wrong warp again. And then Potatoes is exactly like normal. It's just you hit the flags at the end, so you'll have to get wrong warp again in Prop Intro. Prop Intro is unchanged. Prop Flings is unchanged. Conversion Intro, there is a bit of an alteration to the route, which I will show. So in Conversion Intro, the route is basically the same. However, there is an easier form of lemonade skip that is not available in full game because it requires SLA, and I will show that off real quick. So you get here just like normal, except you place a blue portal here. You can only shoot this portal once, because once you shoot it, the portal helper disappears. But just shoot it there, not precise at all. And then, like, jump into it so you're standing there. And crouch into it so that... I know it might be a little bit... I will temporarily remove that so that you can see this. You want the, like... the part of the portal where it clips off, you want it to be like roughly there, and then just save load once. And what that does is I am actually not entirely sure what that does, but it does something. It disables the trigger in some way. and you want to like look about here and just hold W until the third number in your position is like 1622 or higher. It can be like 1623. Don't go too far in, otherwise you'll obviously move. And then shoot your blue portal right about there, and shoot this orange portal 14 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And shoot the blue portal here. And it's lemonade skip, sort of. That's a lot easier than the normal version of lemonade skip. So, especially if you have trouble with lemonade skip, I'd recommend doing that. It is also a bit faster. Yeah, so here, just open the portal, and then 80 spam through. 3 gels is also essentially the same to a point, so but I am going to go through it because there's something interesting at the end. Yeah, I guess I said portal when I meant door. Words are hard. Oh, that's a bad shot. Why AD spam? Because you can't make it with a bunny hop. You wouldn't be able to go through the door. So just do 3 gels like normal. And shoot up there. This is, I guess, a bit of an advanced route, but then you'd fly off of there. And the flags are right there. So just hit those, and you skip literally half the level because the flags are just right there. Alright. And now we're on to test. You want to get wrong warp in test. Even though there's no flags. So test, again, is exactly the same as normal. Funnel intro is also pretty much exactly the same. With the slight exception that at the end, well, the ending's a little bit changed because I'm loading the wrong saves left and right, but at the end you start map skip, which is pretty interesting. Oh, I don't have wrong warp. Whoops. But I'll just do this again like normal. Well, because dialogue doesn't matter, you can just immediately shoot that portal. And then these flags signify the start of map skip. And this tutorial will continue after this brief. I don't know. It's a break. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So, as soon as you end funnel intro, again, you should have maps, or you should have wrong warp here. And you touch these flags, and because you have you should have fly, by the way, so that's crucial for this next part. So touch these flags and then hold right. And so you'll spawn into this map, and also, side note, you'll want Fulbright on probably for this next part. But like strafe this way until you're in line with those boxes. And then pause and unpause out of bounds to cancel your speed. And then strafe towards these boxes. Until you're about here. This is perhaps one of the most confusing parts of any percent. So I'm gonna, I guess, do my best, but honestly, you might need to ask some questions about this because it's basically just void clip pausing and managing your height while flying out of bounds. So make a save here, and because you're going to want to reload the save, because the next few maps you have to do without messing up. Because of the way loading saves works, you basically have to do it single segment. So, a few things to note while flying out of bounds. If you crouch and then uncrouch very quickly, you'll move downwards by 18 units. Something else to note is that if the second number in your angle is like 7 or 8 about, and you just press W, you'll also move down. So, with that being said, you want to do a combination of pressing Shift. Oh, I went too far. That's what reloading that save is for, by the way. you want to do a combination of pressing shift and then having the second number in your angle be like 7 until the third number in your position is anywhere between... Okay, the third number in your position has to be -88 or -89. If it's less than 80, if it's like 85 or something, then you need to go down further. If it's greater than 80, so if it's like 90, you need to reload a save. And what this does is if you're in this very narrow window of height, crouching here will let you trigger this box. So what you want to do here is crouch here, and then as the level transition is going, move out here so you can uncrouch. And I guess I can do it in a little bit of slow motion. That should look roughly like this. And you're also going to want to void clip pause. And this void clip pause, when you end up paused here, you want to press escape and then press the tilde button shortly after. It'll look like this. And then you'll load in. Press tilde again. You should spawn in the next map. If you spawn in the next map and the third number in your position is 90 or higher, you have to reload the save you made earlier. There's no other way. So, get the second number in your position to 7 again. Press W until the third number in your position is -88. And then pause and unpause to stop you from moving downwards. And basically you just repeat that again. Crouch there and strafe out so you can uncrouch. I messed up the void clip pause. This is what will happen if you mess up the void clip pause. The third number in your position will jump down to way above 80. Wait, Oh, I'm not actually recording demos. Wait. And I don't... Yeah, I'm not recording demos, so... It said I was, but it was a SAR glitch. So, here we go. Actually recording demos now. Yeah, so if that third number goes to 90, it's bust. You gotta reload the save. I don't know why that's working, honestly. But basically just do void clip pauses. I'm messing up my void clip pauses, but I guess I'm recovering them in such a way that it works. Oops. So yeah, you have to do strafing, and then you have to crouch, and you have to finish the crouch under this box as to activate the trigger, and then you have to uncrouch out here, like that. So that's what it should look like. And you always want to go to the box that's next to the small box. Always want to go to this box. And again, this is not the hardest thing to do, but the timing might take a little while to get down, and you have to do it like 100%. Because if you mess up, you can load autosave 01, and you get 1 second chance. But if you mess it up again, you got to start all the way back from the beginning. And then you do this a certain number of times until you load a map, and you might be surprised to find that your position is 34. What? No fear. These boxes are just at a different height for some reason. So you want your position to be anywhere between 29.49 and 27.5. So go down until your position is like a 29. It should be, because it has to be below 29.50. So it's 29.20. That means it'll work. If you are 27.50 or below, wait, what? Okay, yeah, if you're 27.50 or below, okay, I can load that save to recover. Yeah, if you like mess it, if you go too low, you can actually maybe load an autosave or autosave 01 to recover, but past that, you're done. So 28.41, that is still greater than 2750, so it'll still work here. And just do the same thing again. If you get that thing where like the main menu pops up, you can basically still do a void clip pause. You'll just have to do 3 taps of the tilde button instead of 2. It's weird stuff. So then you should end up here, and the numbers will be back to normal. Go down to 88. Except this time, don't go to that box. Just go here and crouch, and you'll end up in the elevator. You have to do this because the next map, or like this map, doesn't have an exit box or something. It's weird stuff, but just do this map like normal. And here, what you want to do is hit the flags and then go back, and you have to void clip pause when you're loading into the level. Like this. And basically just start strafing backwards. This is going to be a long strafe, so just going for the long haul, because you're going to want to be in line with those boxes all the way over there. Just do this strafe. And then once you're here, I guess you can make a save. Something to note, if you make a save here, though, you will have to void clip pause when you load that save in order for it to still work. So usually, if you did the void clip pause early, you can tap crouch once to lower yourself to around there. Look at about 7 or 8 on the second number of your angle. Press W until you hit -88. And then go here. Same thing as before. Alright, and here, the number to be is -152, between -152 and -154. So 152.32, that'll work. If it goes above -154, that's bad. You need to restart then. And the number here is -200. I got dangerously close there. If you hit -202 or more, that's bad. And since there's only one box here, just go here, crouch, and you're on Finale 1. Finale 1 is pretty much... It's exactly like normal, actually, I think. Well, let me check. Yeah, Finale 1's just like normal. Finale 2 also like normal. There is one note I have at the end of Finale 2. Where is that? There it is. Whoops. That's wrong. So yeah, once you're at the end of Finale 2, these flags, it's another one of these doors where you're going to have to wait for the door to open and then make sure you go through before the flags are. Alright, and at the beginning of Finale 3, what you're going to want to do is exit to the main menu and then just hit enter twice as soon as possible. So like this. Or make a save, exit to the main menu, and then hit enter twice as soon as possible. What that'll do is cancel the wrong warp, but it will still leave the flags. And all that does is prevent a soft lock in the credits on Finale 4. Technically, I think it might not be necessary, but you should do it anyways. Alright, and Finale 3 is also pretty much exactly like normal. Also, somebody in the chat brought up, no, you do not have to go back to the main menu and get wrong warp in Finale 1 or Finale 2, because the regular level loads, you can hit those. Oh yeah, okay, so at the end of Finale 3, you don't lose crouch fly. Stop yourself here and then strafe over to these stairs. If you're going too fast, the stairs will bounce you up, and that's really bad, so don't go too fast. And then you want to get on the other side of these flags, walk into them with as much speed as you can, AD spam as good as you can, and then jump as late as you can. And if you do it right, you should end up here. And as soon as you load in, strafe to the right, and then strafe to the left. You should not be going that fast, but you want to put yourself on, like, the opposite side here. And then something to note. Once the third number in your position reaches, like, 490, about there, pause. You want that number to be higher than 448. Ideally, you want it to be, like, a high 400, like 490, 480, 470. Once it hits that, pause, and then just strafe around this big cube. Speedwall strafe. Pause again to reset yourself. And once you get on top of this box, save load. You might have to save load twice, depending on your position. But save loading will put you on top of this box. And then you want to crouch into here, as far up as you can, and save load 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that'll put you here. And what you want to do here is shoot either portal, either blue or orange, and that will put you here. And then shoot orange just like there, and that'll reportal you down, and you hit that trigger, and then just hold mouse 1 at the end of this little cutscene. It's impossible to do early moonshot at any %, so I guess just a friendly reminder to go follow at twitch.tv/can'teven for amazing speedruns. Yeah, and that thing earlier, once you're in the stalemate room but flying, you shoot either portal and then the opposite color portal. So you shoot blue and then orange, or orange and then blue. So that number is 484. It has to be higher than 448. That's important. So I think I should be able to get away with just one save load here. Yep, and then just save load 8 times. How do you know whether you need a second save load? If you're still moving, you need a second save load. Because what the save loads do is they lower your height, so you actually land on the box. So yeah, here, you either shoot blue and then orange, or orange and then blue. Same speed, doesn't matter. Alright, that's any %. Again, would not recommend category for beginners. This was just kind of a dump of most of the any % information that I have in my brain. That's not all of it, but hopefully this is a good resource for experienced runners to start running the category, should they want to.
Space!
Alright. Bye.